Okay. So as I mentioned, right, test plan will be the basic and single component if you open any JMeter instance, and to run the script or to add the main sampler, we needed that thread group. That's
Yeah.
important. So how will add thread group? Test plan, right click, add threads, thread group. So then only we can add a sampler, which is the protocol. It could be any protocol. Whereas if you click on right click on test plan, you can't add a sample, you can't see here. Okay, thread group is the important because this helps us to generate the load. Without that, we can't generate the load. So if you see, and first we'll discuss about this thread group. And if you see, we have a three sections here, two sections. One is the action to be taken after sample error and the thread properties. Okay, so what are thread properties? These thread properties only will generate the load. Okay, so how would JMeter in a real terms, right? How JMeter generating the load? If we say tool means there could be some way, right?
Yeah.
If it's a automation testing or functional testing or manual, it's okay, one time.
Mhm.
It had to simulate with multiple number of users. We give
Correct.
500, 1,000, 1 lakh. It has to simulate. How would JMeter is doing with the free of open source? So the logic is JMeter will use this the memory or RAM of this system, and it will create multiple threads. So generally each process will be the one thread. So like that, if I give 10 here, it will create 10 different threads in the Java memory, and each thread will act as each user.
Mm.
Okay, so let's go to task manager. Let's check this memory. Okay, you can see right now memory is a 49% of free, and it is of 7.6 by 15.6 GB. Okay,
Correct.
so when I run with 100 users, 200 users, right, you can see this memory consumption,
Mm. Yeah.
because otherwise it can't simulate it needs some resource to simulate the user. That resource is nothing but the RAM or memory of the particular system where it's running.
Mhm.
That's why if you are running a JMeter script in higher machines, right, it will support higher number of users. If you're running a JMeter in a lower machine like 4 GB RAM or 5 GB RAM or 8 GB RAM with a lot of apps, everything is running, and you can't go for a higher load, and you'll get a out of memory error, Java out of memory error, socket closed error, kind of error, because there is a no memory to utilize with JMeter to create for other user.
Mhm.
Okay, so this will use this memory, and we will see it while execution with how memory is consuming. Okay, yeah, and this is the property number of threads, right, are nothing but users. This will simulate the users. If you give one, it will create the one user. If you give 100, it will create the 100 users. If you give 1,000, it will give 1,000 users based on availability.
Mm.
Okay, so let's go to our back script, and we'll expand thread group here so that you can easily understand. Okay, so if I give one, it means whatever APIs, I mean the samplers or protocols under the thread group will execute one time in a sequential manner. Okay, so if I give 5 means every sample under that group will execute 5 times.
Mm.
So how many we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So it will totally execute 55 APIs.
Mm.
So let's see. And to see the count, right, we will add better listener and listener aggregate report, so that we'll get the count out easily instead of we those two.
Mm.
See, script was completed in 11 seconds, and you can see it is a 55 APIs. So this number is nothing but it will simulate what are the samples under the channel. Okay, so this is users. Now ramp up. Ramp up is nothing but how do you want to set up your users? I mean
Mm.
the gap between user to user. If you give 5, right? So you want
Mhm.
all 5 user at one or some gap with the 5. So
Correct.
that will deciding by this ramp up.
Mm.
Okay, and you mentioned you see the second means by default, if you give 5 means it is 5 seconds. So let's understand this gap much better. Okay, so we have either right, U1, U2, U3, U4, U5. Correct.
Correct.
If I give 1 second ramp up,
Hmm.
it means all 5 will live in a single second. 5 in 1 second. Because I mentioned that 1 second, all 5 should be up and ready. So that they will start hitting the application at same time. If I give ramp up for 5 seconds, ramp up is 5, then the user user gap, right? It will divide this 5 by 5. Ramp up by number of users.
Every 1 second, one user will ramp up.
Sorry?
Every 1 second, one user will ramp up.
So user user gap is 1 second now. First user hit, after 1 second gap, U2 will hit. After 1 second gap, U3 will hit. After 1 second gap, U4, like that. So there is a gap now. So the server may say take some time to handle the existing load. So kind of. Okay. So this will be helpful because in the real time, all users won't hit the application at the same time. Generally, if you take Amazon or shopping websites, right? Mostly evening time, they'll get more load, 3 to 4 hours.
So here, suppose I made the ramp up to 10 seconds.
Mm.
So every 2 seconds, one user will ramp up, correct?
Yes, yes.
So when one user will ramp up, so all the 5 users will wait for the ramp up done to start the action, or like the first user logged in, it do the action.
Yeah, you start the action. You won't other once the user is active means it will start. You will start hitting other APIs.
Okay.
Okay. So now to understand this right much better, we'll check here in the this user ramp up. You can see right 0 by 5. 0 is nothing but active users. 5 is nothing but total number of users.
Total.
Yeah. Let's give here 30. All it means 30 by 5, 6 seconds.
Yeah.
6 seconds. So check here, right? So now 1 by 5 is there.
Yeah.
And see, he is completing, is still running the application. See, 6 seconds, second user got. And
Yeah.
again, 1 got decreased because first user is done with the action.
Yeah.
And 12 seconds, again 1 user. 18, 1 user. And the other one is gone and new one is running. 24, 1 more user. And first user is done with the action, no? Because it is not taking them more than 10 seconds.
Yeah.
So like that you can do. Otherwise, if I give 10 here, means you have 2 seconds, no?
Yeah.
1, 2. Now second user is coming, and third user is adding, fourth user is also, and now 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. If I give 1 here, it means I want to start all users in a single second. So you can see what are the immediately will see it. And whoever complete the action whole script, you will get down automatically. Okay. So in our JMeter script, by default we have ramp up. If you go with other tools, we have ramp down as well. Okay. So that will come in the multiple thread groups. We'll discuss more in the plugins. Okay. But by default, we have this number of users and ramp.
Okay.
Okay. Now loop count. Loop count means nothing but iterations. How many times you want to repeat the action for single user?
Yeah.
It means if I give 3 here means each user has to repeat this action 3 times.
Yeah.
Sequence, first loop, and second loop, then third loop. So, and we have like 5 users, right? So 5 3 is 15, and 15 into 11.
Yeah.
If you loop this number of times. Okay, first we'll do with 1. Okay, and we'll check video history. Good. Now see second loop. And you can see it's only 1 because it's only first user, first thread group. It can't indicate the loop number. Whereas if I give 3 users, and 1 means they will start parallel, right? You can see here, this is a thread group 1 first user, right side is the first one user, and you can see 1 2. This is second user, or second user thread group, second user home page. And this is the third user home page. Because each user, right? Each user they will start the flow, and wherever it is good.
No, thread group one user, 3 iteration. That is the second iteration, third iteration, 3 is the iteration, I think.
Not iterations, user.
But we have only one user, right? Three user, 3 user, 1 iteration. Correct. Okay.
Okay. Right. First user, second user, third user. First user, second user, third user. Right. So if I'm second thread group, right, then you will see thread group 2 -1 like that. We have second other thread group in the test plan. Okay. Otherwise, now if you click on infinity, infinity means it will keep on hitting the applications until you stop it manually.
Okay.
Okay. So now we'll start it when we'll check with 3. See, I start hitting it. So it won't stop. So this will do when you're going for endurance testing or long testing. When you want to run a script for 10 hours or 5 hours or 2 hours, 1 hour, right? So if you don't have any time limit, so we'll keep infinite and we'll leave it. So it will keep on hitting the application. Okay, whenever you want to feel that okay, test is done, I got the result, whatever you want, you simply click on stop, it will stop the test. Okay, it's an infinity. Otherwise, you'll give 1. Clear, right? The 3 users, wrap up, loop.
Your voice is low.
Okay.
Now it.
Yeah. Okay. Users, ramp up, and loop. There's no confusion, right?
No.
Users and loop.
Correct.
Okay. Now, thread delay thread creation until needed. Delay thread creation until needed. So, what does it mean? If you click it, what will happen? If you uncheck it, what will happen? Okay. Let's see. So, let's go to Excel. So that. Okay. So, I have 100 users. And ramp up is 10 seconds. So what is the ramp up is 1000 seconds. What is user user gap?
10 seconds, 1 user will get into the system. Ramp up is 1000 seconds. So every 10 seconds, 1 user will come into the system.
Right. So user 1 will come at one time, and after the gap of
10 seconds, user 2
10
will
seconds,
come.
other user will do. So like that, user 100 will take time at 990. Correct. So if your application is taking only 2 seconds to execute, to complete. So what happens? E1 will complete 2 seconds. So there is no load or no in between, right? In 10 seconds. And again, E2 will start.
Correct.
Because the application only take 2 seconds to complete. Correct. So now what will happen, right? By default, JMeter will be allocated memory for all 100 users. By default at this stage. Okay. So even though this 100 users you are not required at this time, and there's a lot of time for this, but JMeter is blocking the memory for this 100 users.
Okay.
So if you're running in a low configuration machine, right? So the memory already got blocked for this 100 users. and to run the script, there would be no memory.
Mm.
So at that time, again your geometry will hang or you will get the errors.
Mm.
And that's not required, right? Here we have a chance. I mean, if the ramp up is this much of time, if ramp up is 1, at the time it's compulsory. We don't have any option because it has to execute all 100 at the same time.
Mm.
But if for higher ramp up load, we have time.
Mm.
So in that case, to control that memory allocation, right, we have this option. So delay thread creation until needed. If you check this mark, it won't allocate memory for all 100 at this time. It will allocate memory whenever it's required.
Okay.
So that we can save some memory, right, without blocking.
Yeah. Basically, we need it or no in the real time.
And in runtime, if you're going in low configuration and higher load, right, then we need it.
Okay.
But if you have a high configuration machine and you're going with small load, then you don't require.
Okay.
Okay. But safe side, when I'm going higher load, always check that box.
The voice broke, Ravi.
Yeah, but safe
Yeah.
side say when I'm going for higher load, just check that box.
Mhm.
So that it unnecessarily releasing the memory, right? You don't have to wait for the memory to release. So
Okay.
and when I'm going higher load, it's better to save because it will create the thread required only. We don't require all 100 at first second of time.
Mm.
Okay, right. So now next option is specific thread lifetime. So if you check this mark, then only these two will enable. If you uncheck, these two will be disabled.
Mm.
Okay. So what is this lifetime? Because there is some test cases for perform testing like that. We may need to run in the night, or we may need to run for some particular duration, like exactly 1 hour, exactly 10 minutes, exactly 2 minutes.
Mm.
Correct. So
Yeah.
whenever we need cases like that, okay, whenever we need cases like that, we have to lifetime because we can't wait. We can't in front of system and we can't calculate the time based on timer and we can't stop it. So just click on this one simply. If you give 30 seconds or whatever delay, it will run the script and will stop.
Mhm.
So this will happen only in a in a case there is one single case, and only this will be more active. I will tell you. If you give one user one, okay, give one user,
Mhm.
and that's what I said. It will take time of 10 seconds here.
Mm. This one will run for one iteration, right?
Hmm?
This one will run for one iteration only. One user, in 1 second, run for one iteration and done.
Yes, yeah, normal case, one user. Okay, so now see, it took 8 seconds, right?
Yeah.
So if I give just a second, I'm just
Mm.
moving my position. Is it clear now?
Yeah.
Okay. Right. So it means one user is taking around 8 seconds of time. If I give 10 seconds here, I mean, what I'm saying that I want to run my script for 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Duration. So if I run the script, what will happen? It will run for 10 or it will run for 8?
It will run for 10 seconds. No, the infinite we need to uncheck, right? It will run for one iteration, I think.
Yes, it run for 7 or 8. Because it's already done with the execution, so it won't go for a higher.
Yeah.
So this will happen, this will execute only when our script is taking more time and you're giving the duration as less time. Suppose if I give ramp up is more, right? So what will happen? It will take time to run. Correct. Means there is a more gap and will take more time to run. So now let's see. In this case, what will happen? See, it stopped. Okay. If you go to aggregate report, you can see I given 3 users. But it will only execute 2 only. Because it stopped at 10 seconds. Hard stop.
Okay.
Because so this will execute only when our script execution taking higher than this time. Then only this will enable. Okay. So
Okay.
in the better terms, whenever is using infinite, right? Then this will helpful. Because in the infinite we can't stop it in the script.
Yeah.
So that's why if I give 10 or 20, it will run for that particular time and will stop automatically. So mostly in the infinite loop combination, we use the duration.
Yeah.
Okay. And now, what is startup delay? Startup delay, nothing but so you want to run start a test in 1 hour. And you have some configuration or some backend changes are going on. So instead of you waiting for that, you can use the number here. So but just give right 20 seconds. Isn't that in the sample? So when you run the script, see it won't start. It will wait for 5 seconds. See 0 because it's 0 by 0, 5 seconds. Then it will start the application. Then it will run for 10 more seconds. Got it right? So 15 seconds, it will stop the test. So this will helpful like when you want to start in 1 hour, you leave 1 hour time and you click on run button and you leave. So it automatically started that particular time.
Basically, everything starts after 5 seconds only.
Yes, yes. But you have to click on this run button, then only it will start it.
Yeah. So no ramp up, nothing is done. After 5 seconds, the scenario is getting enabled.
Right.
Yeah.
So basically, whenever you want higher test or lower test, or when you are not in front of the stand, you want run right at that time, you can use these things. Or you want like specific, like 1 hour test, 2 hour test, 30 minutes test, right? Exact 30 minutes, exact 1 hour. So kind of that we'll use this option. Otherwise, you can simply ignore. Okay. Yes. Now we have one more left option is the same user in each iteration. Right. So actually, I'm not aware of that. So I want to learn. I want to know about this, right? So what I will do? So I need search in the internet somewhere. Correct. So instead of that, if you click on Control H, on which component you select, it will go to that directly that particular component in JMeter website.
Okay.
See, this is JMeter website, and it's got a thread group. Okay. And now we'll see what is the same user each iteration. Because this is a new component which I added there. Because I'm also not aware of what exactly it do.
Maybe like the users, whatever is getting logged in, right? It in the CSV file, it will not go for the next iteration.
I'm also thinking same way, but we need some official confirmation, right? Whatever.
Yes.
They updated the picture, but they didn't update this one. I'm hoping that could be the reason. Okay. Okay, this is a thread group. Okay, now we have one more thing. Action to be taken. Just a minute. Just a minute. Yeah, hello.
Hello?
Yeah. Okay. So action to be taken after a sampler error. What is a sampler?
Mostly we go for like continue on error, like some assertion suppose failed. We don't want to.
That's okay. But what is sampler here?
Here sampler is your login page, like the HTTP request.
Any request, any protocol under that group.
Yeah.
Okay, the SOAP or HTTP WebSocket and whatever. Correct. So
Yeah.
what I mean, so this option is asking what action you want me to take if something happens or something fails. And by default, we have continue. It means even if something wrong, we have to continue the next flow.
Correct.
Okay? So now here we can't wait for error, right? I mean, we don't know when the error will come. If server is down, then only errors will come. So instead of that, we will create the error on one. Okay, let's give 111 so to avoid confusion. Right. So how I'll do? I'll just give some a dummy URL. I mean, I'll just change the URL. This is not there. Correct. So if I run the script now, see it failed because what is error? It says that unknown host exception. Okay, because I given some dummy URL which is not there. Okay, now we create an error. So now what is there? Continue. So even though we got the error, that's what continue for next flow.
Correct.
But in some applications, if like login got failed, so there is no point of executing other APIs, right?
Yeah.
All right. So there are some cases like that. Once some important API got failed, we should avoid the flow of that particular user, or we can continue. Like that, we could have options so that unnecessary error percent will increase. Okay. So login got failed, other things will fail. Now, if you go to our aggregate report, so you have 100% of error of that particular page. But due to this, if all other things also fail, right, your total of error percent will increase, which is not a valid one.
Correct.
That's not due to the real errors, right? This 9% is a real error. Okay. So in those cases, we want to go for, like, I mean, you want to stop the script or whatever you want to execute, right? That will decide these options. So, like, very important, like login got failed, skip it, or some transaction got failed, skip it, or if home page is not loading, skip it. So when dependencies are there, whenever dependency is there, and we, like, important kind of banking applications, right? Banking applications are very important. I mean, mostly they are dependent with the other APIs, other data.
Yeah.
So those cases we have to use. So what we have done, we have our next option is start next thread loop.
Yeah.
Just click on it. So what happens whenever there is error, it will go with the next loop. It will stop the script at the particular user, particular loop, and will go with the next loop.
Next loop in the sense?
Let's see. So how many loops we have here by default? I mean, while executing, we have one.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. If I give one and run, what will happen? So first thing is it got the error, it will stop the script first.
Yeah.
And it will go for next loop. But how many loops we have?
Only one.
Only one. So it wants us. So script is done. But if I give 2 here, it means in this case, it will start with the next loop again. Then let's run and see.
That means the user will not come out. It will go for the second iteration.
Correct. See, again, home page 164 it got again one user, first user. Because now it's second loop, right? So it's done with the first action. Got there. And now again, you will try from the first. So there is chances that the error may be gone like that. That's why red what we'll do. Once we got the red, what we'll do, then we refresh or then start from the scratch.
But again, anyway, once like it is failing, it's not moving forward. You're starting the next iteration, or like even also you will remove the iteration. If you will make it like in the duration section, if you will make it to 10 seconds, then after first iteration got failed, then it will go for the second iteration.
Yes.
And if it fails, it fails.
Yes, that's it. I mean, now there is no loop, right? So there is no third loop. That's why stop. If I give 3 here, again it will start from the 3. Okay. So now this will happen for each user. Now this loop count is nothing for each user. So if I give 4 users, what will happen? Same thing.
Every user will do 2 iterations.
2 iterations. Total 8 it will do, and 8 all will fail at third one. Okay. So this will happen whenever the case of small looping, and there is small glitching of the server or some small data adjustment, small refreshment, right? At that time, you can go with this up so that it will again from the scratch, and it may work in the next time. Okay. Yeah. Next one. Stop thread. Stop thread means whenever there is something issue, just stop the particular user. Okay. So let's see. Let's give again 111 to understand that. 2, 3 clear and run. Okay, it got stopped. Okay, now let's give loop here for what will happen. See, stopped again. It not started loop as well. Because we are giving option stop thread means it will stop the current user.
It's making the user fail directly.
Sorry?
It's taking out the user from the system. Stop the user.
Yes. Okay, if I give 4, right? Something will happen now. So all 4 will execute, and whenever there is got error, they will stop it. So first user, second user, third user, fourth user. Okay, if you give a higher ramp up, the same thing will happen, but in a sequence. Again, first user got the error, right? Stop. Again, see, there is a gap now because of ramp up. Okay, and stop. So what is it will do? Whenever there is error, it will stop the particular user. Okay. Now stop test. Can you guess what it could be?
It will stop the test.
Then what is the difference between stop thread and stop test?
Stop test means the test will be totally stopped and memory will be free and the report will be generated. Stop thread means like the particular thread is got stopped. It's like the user, the user will like in a load runner, the way it is like when we say stop thread means like the from the action the user will go get into a fail state or a stop state. Stop state, and if there are more users are in the system, the 10 users suppose they are in the system. So what will happen? One user got failed, 9 user will still working in the system. That is a stop thread. And stop test means like your if one user will come out, the entire test will be stopped.
Yeah. So at any point of time of any user got the error, it will stop all other users as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now here see it got execute this much of time now. If I run this now and it got stopped, even it went to next user as well. Because of higher ramp up, we got like this. If I give 1 here now, so what will happen now? All users will start. Whenever the error got detected, it will stop it. See? So generally home page will start all 4 users. And again, second user, I mean all users will starting second request. So now third request is triggered by first user and he got the error, it will stop the whole test. They didn't even went to the other users as well. Okay, so this is like important. I mean, there's no point of running when a failed transaction means at the time we'll use this option. Okay, now stop test now.
Stop test now means in load runner what happens when the stop test option is there, right? So suppose some of the users they are in the ramp down state. So basically they complete the iteration and stop. And stop test now means immediately they will stop. Wherever it is, they will simply kill the system. Maybe that is the concept here.
Yeah, same thing. So let's see. See, now we got errors of 4. Why? Because this is the main error, right? Of unknown host. So when JMOD got error, it will immediately stop the test. So that whoever pending transactions, all pending transactions will also fail, mark as a fail. Because of this socket close. Because JMOD kills it immediately. So that if they are running, right? So that's why we got error. So whereas if this one stop test, no, it will wait for the pending transaction.
Yeah, it will complete that transaction.
Pending transaction, then it will stop the test slowly. But here, no. All the tests will fail immediately and we'll get a more error percentage of, because due to this one error will get again suddenly killing this application means we'll get this errors also. Okay, so this is stop test now. It's clear, right? Now thread group.
Yeah.
Action to be say sampler error, thread properties and its iterations.
Yeah.
But this is a simple thread group. It's very genuine, I mean, very normal thread group for a very small use cases. Small workflow. A simple flow. Just hit the application and get the data. But in the real time, we have different types, right? We have a concurrency load, we have multiple load, we have ramp up, ramp down, we have gap, we have patterns. I mean, we want patterns. And in the real time, if you take any e-commerce website, anything, there patterns are there. Like some sudden users will come and some sudden will get down, and again will get increased and will down. Like some patterns. But with this thread group, we can't generate all those things. Correct. Then this is not helpful for our real load testing.
Correct.
So that's why we have a plugins which helps us to get the upgraders of the thread group. I mean, different thread groups are there. Okay. So how we'll download the plugins means we simply go to search JMeter plugin. Okay, there is JMeter website. This is a separate website which is maintaining by JMeter. So if you go here, you can see the install option. Okay, just download this jar and put in lib and external. Okay. And once you do, and once you restart JMeter, you will see this option, plugin manager. And here you can select already installed, right? I can see everything here. But for you now, you can see under available. Okay. and whatever you select based on your availability usage, right? Everything. Better to select everything and install.
Okay.
You don't know one requirement. Otherwise, again you have to search and again you have to install. So I would suggest at least core things like graphs and basic things, right, which you are aware of. Try to install them. Okay. So you will see like this option, right? So better to just reduce this window size. Sometimes click on apply change and matter. Okay, then you will see plugins. So here we are talking thread group, right? You can see thread group. Sorry, in the test plan. Threads, you will see there are two plugins, JP and thread JC. So JPEG, whenever you see any component before JPEG, this means it is coming from the plugin. Otherwise, all things well available from the basic setup. Okay. So JPEG plugin means at before, right? JMeter plugin, JP and Google code. Before they were in the Google repo. So now they moved like last 4 years back, right? Now we got this different setup. So but name
but this is replicated, right?
That is replicated. If you want, you can use it. That nothing matter. But there is no support.
Okay.
Okay. So like this, we'll get different kind of groups. This is very ultimate and something that could be very important for us because in the real time we'll be using these things.
Okay.
And apart from that, we have concurrency and we have setup and teardown.
Okay.
More we'll discussing about at the time of like this and that.
Okay. So we'll cover this everything, right?
Sorry?
We're covering all these thread groups, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Because that's very important. Other things, right? Normal, but thread groups are important.
Yeah, that's much more important. Yes, actually.
Okay, right now. Okay, so now clear thread groups, right? And now what will happen if I have multiple thread groups? Let's go to thread plan, right click, add thread group. Okay, and I'll simply get some one API here. Okay, and if I run the script now, with one continue. Okay. Normal. So where is view registry?
View registry will be part of a test plan, right?
Yes. No. Currently, this scope is this under this level. So if you click this line, it is a equal line of thread groups.
Yeah.
So it means that it will give you the results of these two thread groups.
Yeah.
You got 164 thread group. You can see right now thread group 2 here because of this number second thread group. Otherwise, you will get a thread group 1. When I have only one thread group, but when I have thread group 2, we have the thread group 2. Okay, and now, so thread groups are independent of each other. That's the basic rule. It's like a different script only. Even though we capture in one single test plan, doesn't matter that they are equivalent. They can transfer. That is not like that. It's completely independent of each other, and the data whatever created on this thread group, right? You can't access directly. It's like separate script only, separate JMX files. But some cases, if you want to define everything in a single JMX, you can use multiple thread groups here and you can create the script. Okay. Yeah. Now, and to control this thread groups also we have options. If you go to test plan, you will see run thread groups consecutively. And it will execute one by one. So now what will happen? See, earlier case I did at the same time. Right? That's why I got thread group 1, thread group 2. Now what will happen one by one? I give an option. So after first thread group, see this thread group 1, and again after logout we will see home base. After group 2.
What is the option you selected there in the test plan?
Run thread groups consecutively.
That one at a time. Okay. The first one will execute first, then the sequentially it will go.
Sequentially it will go.
So if you will go, can you go to the thread group? In the thread group 1, just clear that error message, okay, and run it for 2 minutes, and after that we will run the second thread group. for 2 minutes. So
Okay,
if you go that, yeah. So make it to 2 minutes or 1 minute.
the duration.
Yeah, duration. And remove, yeah, 120 seconds suppose.
Okay.
And remove that iteration infinite, make it infinite. So this one will run for 2 minutes, and then
Right.
after that the thread
Then
group
we'll
2
start.
should start. Yeah, it will run for 1 minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, that should be fine. Yeah.
Okay. So it's in 2 minutes time, right?
Mm.
You can see after that executed thread group 2.
Mm. So basically 1 by 1.
One by
One
sequence.
completes, then other after that other one will
Yes.
complete. Okay.
Based on use case, we can use for this. Otherwise, you can use for single thread group for one JMX file, and you can have like that. Otherwise, you can maintain like this. It's based on the tester comfortness. You can use it.
Mm.
Okay, clear that group.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll stop recording.
Up to this is clear. Yeah.